Answer should be C. Answer is C. Answer should be A. Answer should be A. Pick a number from 1 to 20, drop it off. Winning numbers today are 1, 5, 8, 12, and 20. The objective is to multiply matrices of different dimensions. Here's example 1. In this case, you'll have 2, 3, 4, 7, 5, and 6. We have 3 columns in that one, which should match the number of rows we have in the other one. So we'll have 2, 4, 7, and 5. That's supposed to be a bracket. There we go. So if you're going to multiply these two together, after you've made certain that the number of columns in this one equals the number of rows in this one, that means you can actually multiply it. If they are not equal, then you cannot do it. You just write no, and that's the correct answer. But if it's not, then you have to multiply them out. So start with the first row, and then go with the first column. Oh, and do these match up, though? I just noticed this. Do these match up? How many columns do we have in the first one?
They don't match.
How many columns are in the first one? We have 3 columns in the first one, and how many rows in the second one? 2. So since they don't match, we can't do this, so the answer is no. I didn't intend for it to work out that way, but that's just the way it was. But this next one will. On this one, we have 2, 5, 6, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to multiply that one against 3, 2, 4, 6, 1, 5. So on this one, you would start with the first row and then go with the first column. So you're multiplying 2 by 3 to get 6, 5 by 4 to get 20, and 6 by 1 to get 6. And add those all together, putting them in the first row, first column of the answer. So we would have 6, 26, 32 should be the first one in there. Again, you're multiplying 2 by 3, 5 by 4, 6 by 1, adding all the results and putting them here. And then stay with that row, but use this column. And in that case, you would have 2 times 2, 5 times 6, and 6 times 5. So that would be 4, 30, and 30, which would give you a 64. And it's got to go in row 1, column 2, because that's what you multiplied, was row 1 here, column 2 there. Now skip down to this one. I'll put that one in blue. Skip down to this one and go back to column 1. There. So you should have 3 by 3, 2 by 4, 1 by 1. That would be a 9, and 8 is 17, plus 1 is 18. And then go to this column over here. So that would be 3 times 2, 2 times 6, 1 times 5. That would be a 6, 12, and 5. 6 and 12 is 18, plus 5 is 23. This is your final answer. Multiply these two together. 2, 4, and 5 times 3, 6, and 2. You're going to multiply these two together. Now, if you're going to do row 1, column 1, then it's going to go like this. 2 times 3, 4 times 6, and 5 times 2, which would be 6 plus 24 plus 10. That's a 30 plus 10, which means you have a 1 by 1 answer matrix which has 40 in it. Multiply these together, bring it up. The solution to the practice problem is no, because it has 3 columns and 2 rows. Those don't equal up. This is a practice. This one is 4, negative 1, 2, 6, 3, negative 1. And this one is 2, 5, 3, 6, 7, 4. On this one, we'll check it to see if it'll work. This is 1, 2, 3 columns and 1, 2, 3 rows, so it does match up. We're going to go here first and then here. If you multiply those two together, you're going to have an 8 and a negative 3, which is 5. 5 plus 14 is 19. Stick with that same row and multiply against this one. You'll come up with 20 plus a negative 6, which is 14, plus 8 is 22. Now go down to this row and then back to the first column. It'll be 12 and 9 for 21. 21 plus a negative 7 is 14. This same row, and then this column. That's 30 and 18, which is 48. 48 plus a negative 4 is 44. Try this practice problem. This one is 3, 4, 7, 2, 9, 6, 3, 8. And over on this side, we will have 4, negative 3, 7, 5, negative 2, 4. Since we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns and 1, 2, 3 rows, those do not match up, so you cannot multiply these together. Try this practice problem. It is negative 1, 2, 6, 3, negative 4, 2, 0, 5, 0. And we're going to multiply that against 3, 2, 6, negative 1, negative 5, 0. So first we check to see if we can actually do it, and we have 1, 2, 3 columns and 1, 2, 3 rows. So yes, we can do this one. You're going to start by multiplying this by this, and then go to the second row with that, or the second column with this same row. So in the first one there, you're going to have a negative 3 plus 12, which is 9. 9 plus a negative 30 is a negative 21. And then we're going to go to this one. That would be a negative 2 plus a negative 2 is a negative 4. And you have 6 times 0 at the end. It's not going to matter. Then we're going to go down here to this row and do the same 2 columns. That would be 9 plus a negative 24, which would be a negative 15. Negative 15 plus a negative 10 is a negative 25. And off to this second column now, that would be 6 plus 4 is 10, and then you have that 0. I need a little bit more room for my matrix, but that's okay. This row times these two, well, you've got a 0 on the front end, a 0 on the back end. The only thing that matters is this 5 times the 6, which would be 30. And then when you go to this column, it's the same deal. The only thing that matters is the 5 times the negative 1, which would be a negative 5.